Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Monday, 26 January. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Venezuela has released over 100 political prisoners. Japan has returned its last two pandas to China amid strained ties. And US security agreement for Ukraine is 100% ready for signing, says Zelenskyy. So firstly, at least 104 political prisoners in Venezuela were freed on Sunday, a human rights group said. The prisoners were freed amid pressure from the United States in the wake of the kidnapping and removal of the former leftist leader Nicolas Maduro by US forces. Many of the prisoners were opponents of Maduro who were detained during protests against his 2024 election, which was widely dismissed as fraudulent. An NGO person said on X that we've identified 104 releases of political prisoners in Venezuela today. So what? This is just an extension of the people who have taken over from Maduro trying to appease the United States to ensure that, they also don't get removed from power, because if they do, they're likely not going to survive for much too long. Yeah. So that's kind of just how I say it. This is just trying to appease Trump, make everyone happy. It seems possible that Trump will leave them in power, but we'll have to see. That's kind of up in the air at the moment. We don't really know. And next, the twin pandas, whose pronunciation I will get terribly wrong, Hiai and Lai, received visits from hordes of fans at their zoo home in Tokyo on Sunday ahead of their return to China at the end of the month, which comes as strained Japan-Chinese ties make it unlikely that they will be replaced anytime soon. Their departure will leave Japan without the cuddly black and white animals for the first time since 1972, when China presented the country with two pandas as a gift intended to mark the normalization of bilateral diplomatic ties. So what? There's a name for this, and it's called panda diplomacy, and it's a common tactic used by China. So for anyone who doesn't know, China maintains ownership of all pandas worldwide. They only loan them to countries rather than, sell them or give them to other countries. So all pandas are essentially used as like a diplomatic weapon, which, while seems ridiculous, their presence at zoos often makes people happy, and it's kind of like a sign of relations between that country and China. So the removal of these two pandas, though it sounds like they were already intended to be removed, it's more that they're not being replaced, is just a sign of how bad the relationship between Japan and China is. Kind of unsurprising. Sorry, got something in my throat. Kind of unsurprising is like the rise of like nationalistic rhetoric within China tends to put Japan in a negative light due to what they did in World War II and before World War II in the Sino Wars. So yeah, unsurprising that their relationship has become strained. Also, the Japanese-US relationship is a significant issue for China, as it's one of the ways they maintain a significant presence within the region. So yeah, a bit shit for Japan, but also unsurprising. And it's just an extension of panda diplomacy, as we often see. And lastly, President Zelenskyy said on Sunday that US security guarantees document for Ukraine is 100% ready after 2 days of talks involving representatives from Ukraine, the US, and Russia. Speaking to journalists in Vilnius during his visit to Lithuania, Zelenskyy said that Ukraine is waiting for its partners to set a signing date, after which the document would go to the US Congress and Ukrainian Parliament for ratification. Zelenskyy also emphasized Ukraine's push for the European Union membership by 2027, calling it an economic security guarantee. So what? I haven't seen the details of this security agreement. It'll be interesting to see what it says, as from this news article, it says that Russia has been involved in the conversations. So if both sides are there, and have agreed to it, it's quite possibly an actual sign that things may move forward. Um, which, huge news and something I have thought was unlikely for some time. So, yeah, details, while not currently available, should be very interesting. And I'm sure there'll be lots of people having a look at what they say and how, essentially, how Russia reacts, because, this has been a massive hurdle for quite some time. If Russia is now willing to let Western security forces into Ukraine to provide security guarantees, then it's likely a sign that the war is costing Russia a lot more than they um, are letting on, and that things are extremely bad behind the scenes. So, yeah, hopefully this also appeases Trump in a way, as he started to blame Ukraine again somehow for this war. So hopefully this goes a wee way to keep him happy in the short term. And yeah, let's just wait out for further information and also a reaction from the Russians to see what they have to say. Anyway, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.